Hey, you guys, just wanted to come on here and give you guys the plays for today. Today's Thursday, the 11th of January. I'm going to give you guys a prize pick slip for NFL, and then I'm also going to give you guys two underdog slips for NFL action. So we have like NFL like all weekend. I think we even have a Monday game, so that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. Before that, I wanted to give you guys the promo. So I always want to go over promos because they're like the freest money that you're going to get in betting. So we have a sleeper promo. It's called Wild Card Wednesday. Even though today's Thursday, it still runs up until that game starts. So, I mean, we always want to take the promos. The promos are always going to want to be something that we take because it's like pretty much an 80% hit for most of these promos that these companies run. And that's why you want to take as many or you want to download as many apps, as many betting apps and books that you can have, because they're always going to be running promos trying to get people to keep betting or get a notification or an email on their phone to be like, hey, open up Sleeper because we have a promo running. But as for us, for sharp bettors like us, we always want to take these promos because they're just free money. So we got CJ Stroud reduced line, and then we also have a Puka Nacua reduced line. I'm going to leave a link to Sleeper in the pinned comment and also the description. I think they're doing a $500 match right now. At least they were a couple days ago. It might be $100, but if it's $500 match, that's crazy, because if you deposit $500 into Sleeper, they're going to give you a free $500. So not only do you have these two pretty easy hits here with the Wild Card Wednesday, and I'm about to give you the plays that I took, but you'll have a free $500 match with them too. So it's a no-brainer to take Sleeper, especially right now. Like, this is the best time to take them, because I bet they're going to run a ton of promos with playoffs and everything coming up. So without further ado, I'll get into the plays that I took for these promos. So we have CJ Stroud, his promo, and then we're going to pair him with Nico Collins because those are correlated, right? So we do a lot of correlated betting here. So if you think about it, the more pass yards that CJ Stroud gets, the more receptions that Nico Collins is also likely to get, right? They're correlated. And you could think about this vice versa. It's probably better to think about this vice versa. It's like, if Nico Collins goes off and he has like 7 or 8 receptions and hits this line, then it's likely that CJ Stroud's going to go over this passing yard total, especially with a reduced line like this. Because like if Nico Collins gets like 7 or 8 catches, that's probably going to be like, I don't know, 70, 80 yards for him. And, right there, that's going to be a huge number for CJ Stroud to hit his pass total. So that's why they're correlated. One point of, or like one recommendation or secret hack that you can do with Sleeper is if you just tried to pair Stroud with Nico Collins, it's going to give an error to you. It's going to say, hey, these are two guys on the same team. You're not allowed to do this. This is like, they're pretty much saying this is too correlated to do. Like they're throwing an error out and they're being like, this is too correlated. You can't do this on our website. Like, we don't want you to do this. So what you can do is you can find a line that's like very, very, very likely to hit, just like this. So I found this guy under sack, and you can see that the multiplier on this is like next to nothing. It's a 1.12 multiplier, which means that it's like very, very likely that this guy does not get a sack. You can do this with sacks. You can do this with like lost fumbles. So if you think about it, like how often does someone lose a fumble, right? Like probably like once or twice a season, someone loses a fumble, or like this guy probably doesn't get many sacks, right? That's why his line's so low. So this is very, I'm not going to say guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed, but this is very, very likely that this guy does not get a sack. And you're pretty much cheating the system because you're just putting this Cleveland guy in, and now Sleeper sees Houston, Cleveland, Houston, rather than seeing just 2 Houston players. So that then you're able to take this line. So that's really good here. Puka Nacua, I paired him with Max Strauss just because I have Odds Jam Fantasy Optimizer, and the line on Pickett was like way more of a good line than what they had on Sleeper, so that's why I took it. I just realized that this game is at 1 p.m. and this game's in like 30 minutes, which I'm sorry about. What I would do is I would do the same thing. I would maybe find another sack person or use this player also, and then maybe pair him with Matt Stafford's over like completion or over pass touchdown or something like that. Just find a way to pair Matt Stafford with Puka Nacua. And then also just like put this sack in here because this game's starting so soon. So sorry about that. I didn't know that this game was going to start so recently, but yeah, pretty much just copy what I did here, but just copy it with the Rams. So yeah, I'll go on to PrizePicks then. And yeah, we want to keep doing the correlation, right? So you saw that we have a little loophole with Sleeper of like Sleeper's not going to let you just pair two guys together on the same Houston team. PrizePicks is also being a little bit weird, and it just started like today. It's starting to do kind of payout shifts with these 5 and 6 man correlated bets. So I'm trying to figure it out on the best way to pair these guys. But this was pretty good. This didn't have a payout shift when I took it. So we have Matt Stafford over pass attempts. We have Goff over pass TDs. And then, so with the correlation, then we have Stafford, and then we have Puka, Demarcus Robinson, and then we have Goff, and we have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Josh Reynolds. So starting with Stafford, like the more pass attempts that he has, the more receiving targets that Puka's going to have. And then the same thing with like the more pass attempts that Matt Stafford has, the more likely that Demarcus Robinson's going to go over on his receiving yards. Again, nothing's guaranteed, but like you can see how these are correlated, right? The more that Matt Stafford's throwing, if he ends up having 40 pass attempts, then maybe 9 of those 40 pass attempts are going to be targeted at Puka Nacua because he's the number one receiver now at the Rams. And the same with Demarcus Robinson. The more that Matt Stafford's throwing, the more that Demarcus Robinson's going to hit this. Goff, the more he's throwing, the more pass touchdowns he's going to get. And then the more he's throwing, the more Amon-Ra St. Brown receiving yards is going to get. And then same with Josh Reynolds, right? You could also think about this as like if Goff has like a 50-yard pass touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's going to be 1 pass touchdown to Goff, and then it's also going to be 50 yards to Amon-Ra. So if that happens in the first quarter or second quarter, something like that, I mean, those would be like pretty much guaranteed to hit. Again, guaranteed is a strong word, but you know what I mean. So take that. I'm also going to put a code for PrizePicks in the pinned comment if you don't have it, but I kind of expect everyone to have PrizePicks by now. So 2 Underdog fantasy plays for today. These are actually going to be both lowers. So we have Joe Flacco lower pass TD, and then we have CJ Stroud lower pass yards. And then Flacco is going to be paired with 3 of his receivers. So what I like doing with Underdog, this is a little bit of like my hack for Underdog, is you can have 4 players on the same team for a 5-man. So they only let you do 5-man slips in Underdog. PrizePicks lets you do all the way up to 6-man. But for Underdog, you can pair 4 players on the same team. So I'm going to go Flacco, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, all on the Browns, all going to be lowers. So lower pass touchdowns and then all lower receiving yards. Elijah Moore's rush plus receiving. And then CJ Stroud's also lower pass yards. So what we're looking for here is a game script that's like one team gets up early. So like the Browns get up early. Or we could look for a very defensive battle. But another game script could be the Browns get up really early and then they just start running the ball. And like CJ Stroud, I mean, this is a really good defense. I believe in CJ Stroud. I like him. But yeah, he could go lower pass yards, right? And I mean, even if he gets 240 yards, that'd still be a good game for him, but it would still be lower here. So yeah, those are the 2 things we're looking for. It's either the Browns go way up early and they're able to just like dominate the Texans and they just run the ball out and the game's just super short and no one's able to get yards. Or the game's just a low scoring game. Yeah, it's a low scoring game. It's just a grinded out type game, a lot of running. That would be also good for this game. Okay, I'm mistaken. I thought this was also a lower, but it's a higher. So we got Goff, we got Stafford together. Goff over pass TDs again, and then Stafford over passing yards. Again, we want to look for 4 players on the same team. So right here we have the Lions. We have Goff, Reynolds, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, all going higher. So receiving yards for these 2, and then targets for Josh Reynolds, higher pass TDs for Goff here. Same thing, if Goff throws a 50-yard touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown the first quarter, then that would look really good for these 2 lines. And then Stafford over pass touchdowns. And then pretty much the game script we're looking for is the opposite of what I just said for the Browns-Texans game. Obviously, anything could happen in these games. I mean, football is football, sports are sports, but the game script we're looking for is a higher scoring game. The teams are close, and they're constantly passing. Passing means more incompletions. Incompletions means more stoppage in time to get more plays off, and more passing off. So that's the game script we're looking for here. Again, like a game can only go a certain number of ways, really. It's either like one team blows a team out, or it's a running game, or it's a close game and it's a high passing game. So that's what we're going for here. And then the other game, we're looking for the opposite of that. So again, anything can happen. But yeah, this is the correlated slips for the day. Definitely use that sleeper promo because it's gonna expire, I think, probably like Saturday morning or something like that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you'd enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you're taking these picks. And yeah, let's have a good weekend, guys. Thanks.